Welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today, the first of the Greek gods. But before we do that, roll those credits and a quick word from our sponsors.
PCBWay are proud sponsors of the channel. They offer industry-leading 3D printing services covering all types of materials and processes. They also offer industry-leading online CNC machine services from milling, machining, and turning in all the materials you could possibly need. They also offer a fully online prototyping PCB service. Everything from assembly through to design, you can do it all online with an easy system to use for quality. So for all of your needs, check out PCBWay in the link in the video description.
Right, so I saw this model when I was perusing and thought, that looks cool. As I looked further, I realised there was some more as well. There was a few of the Greek gods. I thought, I know what I'm doing next. So, this is the first one. This is Zeus. When I got the files and I looked at them, I realised there's you can print this character as one piece. It comes as a whole piece. Comes in like 1/12, 1/9, I think, and 1/4 scale. Doesn't tell you what them sizes actually are, but there is the whole piece. So what I did is the whole piece is 1/12 scale. I imported the whole piece and just scaled it up until the size I wanted it, which my usual size for a character is about between 350 400 mil. It's the size I like doing. So this printed, apart from the base is separate. He printed in one entire piece, and I did that on my apexmaker. I'll put up a picture of it now on the build plate, finished printing. And I was genuinely amazed at how well it printed for one piece. So it doesn't necessarily make your life easier, because it makes painting harder. But what it does do is eliminate any join lines. You've got no join lines. So you get a real smooth model. Painting this. As I've said on a previous video, I've always used this. It's a fairy flesh kit from Vallejo to do my skin tones. It works really well. Every skin tone I've ever done on here has been done with this method. But these are like gold dust to get. And what you really do is you run out of one colour first, which is the base colour, because the base colour you base the entire model and it's reddish flesh. The other colours are used for highlighting, so you use much less every time you do a model. So what happens is you run out of reddish flesh, but the rest of the kit is still relatively 80–70% full. You cannot buy the single colours from this set on their own. So you have to buy a new set to replace, in essence, one colour. And these are now like gold dust. You can't get hold of them. Well, on this what I did is, there's another channel called Ground Affected. It's probably his fault that you can't get these anymore, because he did a few videos on using these, and since then you've never been able to get them. So, well done, Ground Affected. Ruined it for everyone. He then devised a new way of doing skin tones using colours that you can just buy. Thought to myself, I'll have a go at that. I ordered the colours. It's 5 colours, I think it is. 5 Vallejo colours. And this is the result. Now, which skin tone do I prefer? I've got to say, I think it's this one. Which is really annoyed James because he's just bought 3 of these kits. He's given me 2 and I've made him keep one because I want him to learn how to use the kit. Because he's always moaning about flesh tones never look the same. Well, now he's going to learn. This is going to be terrible for me. But this skin tone, I prefer it. It's a lot more natural skin tone. Yeah, this is how I'm going to do my skin tone from now on. I've already started the next one of these gods, and I've used the same skin tone. I really like it. The sort of robe used white, and then I used a apothecary grey contrast to darken the shadows in it, and then I've got a very, very light grey glaze that I went over certain parts of it, because just doing that bright white just looks very basic. I prefer to do it like this with some age. The hair is deck tan, and then with I think it's apothecary white again over the hair. All of the armour I did in a brass, dry brushed with gold, and then Reikland flesh shade wash over the top. The base, I didn't want to do rock because I thought to myself, if it's Zeus, he wouldn't be standing on just a piece of rock, although he is standing on a piece of rock. It wouldn't just be rock. So I thought I'd go for the marble sort of effect. So with that, I base it in gold. Then I've done a video on this previously, so if you look through, I did it on the Titan I printed. You use disinfectant wipes, you dry them out, stretch them all open, so you open up all the fibres. You lay it on there, and then you airbrush like a grey over. Once that's done, you then airbrush, do the same thing and use a white, and you get this sort of mottled, marbly effect. So that came out well. Again, what we'll do is I'll just do a quick 360 for you. So, as we've said before as well, Sunlu is a new sponsor of the channel. I love their resin. Their resin is what I use anyway. So the fact that they came on as a channel sponsor, amazing. So this is all resin, all done in Sunlu. He's hollowed. So when I hollowed him, what I did is I put drainage holes in the bottom of his feet. And I also put one right up in there. It's hidden, you can't see it, but he's now not a man anymore. But So E is hollow, the base is hollow as well, because if you didn't hollow him and you're doing him in one piece, savage amount of resin, and 2, a hell of a lot of weight as well for what is a relatively small base. So hollowing is always the way to go. It hollowed really well considering it's a one-piece model. I always like to put decent sized drainage holes because I really make sure I wash out the inside of the model. That way you know you're never going to get any splits 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line once you've printed something. It's not going to suddenly burst open. It never has done for me. I always put more than enough drainage holes into a model. With his eyes, you'll notice there's like a blue haze around his eyes, so I just really watered down some blue and just finely airbrushed over the eyes. I then blued the eyes and then went over again in white, so it's got that white and glowing effect on them. I like that. But yeah, this is number 1. You'll shortly see number 2 and 3, because for some reason I've started doing all my models in 3s. 3 DC villains, 3 X-Men, 3 Gremlins, and now 3 Greek gods. So, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free, it costs you nothing. Helps us out a great deal. There's a link for Sunlu, filament and resin. We do get a little kickback if you buy it from us. It doesn't cost you any more money, but it does help the channel out. So get over on the link, go over to Sunlu, grab yourself some of this, because really it is stunning resin. It's the resin I always buy previous to being sponsored by them. So we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.